Flosstube, it's Janet with Janet Jabber. I'm coming at you with episode 306. If you're a new friend to this channel, this is a channel about cross stitch. I hope you like what you see. Please subscribe, comment, do the YouTube things. If you're a returning friend, thank you so much for coming back to see me again this week as we get into what I've got stitching on this week or what I've been up to. I want to, cats are coming in, dogs are here. Thank you all for all of your best wishes and well wishes in regards to retirement, little pieces of advices here and there. Those kind of gems have been dropping like crazy for me, and I appreciate that dearly. We'll talk more about my retirement at the end, but it has been a whirlwind, amazing week for me for sure. Anyway, to kick off at the beginning of the video, like I always do, this is probably going to be a short one, but I have in my description box below, I have a Happy Mail link, which is basically where you can give me your information, and I send out Happy Mail once a month, and it's a new month, so new mailings will be going out soon. Usually I don't do a whole lot of details in my description. I have some stuff in there, but if you have a question, just shoot me a message at janetjabber@gmail.com, or some people have found me, it's not a secret, but over at Janet Jabber on Instagram is a place to send me messages also. There is that. I am all like really upbeat. I've had such a good week and a good weekend, and I'm just ready to do all the shares. So one of the things we love to do on this channel, and I say we because we're a community here, is do featured friends. So featured friend is somebody that people just send me in where they're stitching on or what they have finished or in the process of stitching, and when I share their stitching here, it lets us see a variety of stitching, a variety of different kind of finishes, and all the things. So this week's finishes come to me from Angie from August 1823 Stitchers, and they are another floss tuber out there too. So let's get into what she's got to share. So thank you very much for sending me this. Her first one is a beautiful piece it's a whale called the Mighty Wanderer Whale. Sally fully finished it, which is Angie's partner, and into a project bag. She received first place at the Eastern Carolina Agricultural Fair. You can see that in the beautiful picture here. She brightened it up considerably and simplified the pattern. The parade is a party like 1776. She made no changes to that. The characters represent historical characters like George Washington and Betty Ross. So the other two stitches that we have here are stitches from the housewife. The pumpkin is one of those seed packages that she had a series of. She fully finished that into an ornament. And Sally finished that also. And she also fully finished month to month July pattern. Included painting the board, which is a Chantel 141 finish. So thank you for all that information, Angie. Those pictures are gorgeous. I hope you all enjoyed seeing those and seeing the variety of ways to finish it. Sorry about the little caracas behind. The cat decided to hit the tripod. It's wild up in here, but thank you very much, Angie, for sharing that. I love seeing other people's work. I always say that, and it is a well-received thing on here to have other people's cross-stitching also. Send it to me at janetjabber@gmail.com, and I get it shared on here. So with that, we have a couple of finishes to share. I have a fully finished, a couple of finishes, a new start, some stitching that I got into, and a little bit of plans and goodnesses that I've got going on. So let's get in here. The first off, I'm going to show you because it's big on the table here and I want to get it shown before the cat knocks over anything else. This is my And the Forest Grew by Rosewood Manners that I changed the center of. So I focused on this last year, I believe it was, of getting this fully done. And then I changed the saying in the middle of it to be different than it was. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. It is gorgeous. I love how it finished. I'm going to bring it in for this frame. This is a newer frame at my store. So very, very happy to have this framed and look forward to putting this on the wall. These are the kind of sayings I just love to put out there. So that is fun for me. My cat has decided to jump up on this thing. It's a wild ride here. It's a wild, wild ride. So I have two other finishes that are small, way small in comparison to that, but we're gonna show them to you. I have my Corky Quaker. I finish a Corky Quaker every month. So this is my little snail one. This is blowing it out a little bit. It's not really blown out like that. It looks really good. This is like a little mint, like light mint-ish green fabric. It was just a scrap that I had and it just kind of spoke to me, so I did it. So this is my little snail Corky Quaker. And the next thing that I have finished is my little bird for the month of July. This is the little Stitcher series, and this is July's little bird. These are fun to stitch. I have birds that, I have bird feeders right out in the backyard, and that's kind of what goes on out here around here. All right, so the next thing that I have to share as I put that away so it doesn't get knocked over is my seasonal stitch. So I stitch on this seasonal piece every single day, Monday through Friday. And it is this cat is going to make a mess. It is, I grabbed the wrong pattern out. I need this cat to stop. Please stop. The summer one from Blueberry Ridge Designs. And if you remember, I'm using the Colores thread, which is 4502. 4 different DMCs in that. And then I just pull those out and focus on those as we go through. And this is where I'm at on it currently. So since I've seen you last, I know I added these 2 trees. Or I finished this. I think I finished this square. Now I'm getting myself confused. I think I finished this square, added those 2 trees, and I added that little watering pot or whatever you want to call it. So plugging along on it for sure. Because, you know, the seasons just fly by around here. The next piece I have to share with you that I worked on for a little bit is Healing Earth by Carolyn Manning. This is what it will look like, and I am stitching it all on one. So currently I'm focusing on this corner of it. And this is where it's at. I think I have almost found, except, wait, Janet, you're holding it wrong. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. I am almost, I think this is the very end. I feel like that's, yeah, because there is where it starts, which is the same pattern. So this is the very end, and I have reached the very bottom on that first square as I plug away at it. And I love it. It's fun to stitch on it. It's a full coverage piece that I love doing. So there is that one. And then I'm like, where did my bag go? My next one, this is the beginning of a new month. So I started working on Put a Bird on it. Did not get all my stitches. I need to sync this so it goes through the other way for you. I did not get all 1,000 stitches. I do 1,000 stitches a month. Not there yet. I don't even know where I'm at for sure, but I put this motif in, and I'm putting the swan in, and then I will work. There's a motif here that I'll work on, so we'll see. Like I said, I don't even know where I'm at right now. I'd have to look, but I got it started for this month, so the month has just started. And because the month has just started, part of the month of starting, I try to stitch on this every Sunday. Not so much this Sunday. Things get busy. This is going to be the problem. But I did stitch a little bit more on my butterfly. I did not get my 500 stitches in, but I'm trying to finish off the 3371 in this wing of the butterfly, but plugging away at it for sure. And then my plans for stitching on the first day of retirement, and I barely got it in, but I got it in, was I am starting a full coverage from Stitches So Beautiful. I am doing Sunflower Wisdom. It is a big, big stitch. And this is where I got on it. I know it's kind of hard to see, but that's okay. Like, if you can see, like, it's this stuff up here which blends in anyway. So this all is supposed to be like watercolor like ish, like and I could have chose not to do it, but I chose to not worry about that. And I know that it blends in, but I'm okay with that because you're going to see it for dimensions, if that makes any sense. But I told Candy, my friend, the 614 Stitcher, I was like, I am 0.2% done. Who's counting? I think it's fun. So that is my stitching. I knew it would be like, this is going to be a short and sweet video. I promise you. Like, I just it has been a rambling whirlwind, but I still have other things to share with you. I have one, if you remember a couple months ago, I announced that I was going to be the ambassador for Grace Notes fabric, which is what this piece is on. This is a Grace Notes fabric, mint matcha. So when they reached out and asked me if I would like to be an ambassador, I was like, yes, but I would like to purchase a piece big enough to do that on, because I stitch on it every single day. I love their fabric. I love them so much. So I received my first piece of fabric for being an ambassador there, which I believe puts me into their, it is the Fabric of the Month Club. So if you've not received yours, then please look away for a minute, but come back, because I'm going to talk to you about plans. So I'm going to show it to you. And I'll probably I should show this, like, we'll see. I don't want to say the name just in case. So I am getting an 18 count. This is, can you see? I'm having problems figuring out where to look through my bifocal today, and the sun is glaring. Anyway, this is what it is. And I am in the combination club, which means I don't know what I'm going to get. I'm a neutral girl, but I was like throwing it out there. We're just going with it. So this is the beautiful color. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love this so much. It is perfect. Yes. So thank you so much for that. If you've never tried their fabric before, I highly recommend them to go check them out. They always send a little extra goodie. I got a little cute little post sticker. They are a wonderful family-owned business, and they're great people. So fantastic fabric to work with also. So give them a shot at Grace Notes Fabric. You can find them in my description box below also. All right, now let's talk about plans. And I got some wild plans, wild for me. I saw this on Vicks Stitch and Buttons video in regards to football season. I am an avid Colts fan. I have always been a football Colts fan since they came to Indiana. And my parents had season tickets back in the day. And I've never been to the new stadium though, because like I am like a sit on your couch Sunday kind of football. Because I holler and I scream, and I would probably be a crazy person. But Vic from Stitch and Button got this idea from Kim that runs a full coverage group on Facebook. I'm not part of that. That's my first, I do Carolyn Manning's, but that is my first real big full coverage. But anywho, I printed off the Indianapolis Colts schedule. And what I'm going to do is, this was Vic's idea. I am going to do 10 stitches for every point that my Colts score. What I have to do is I'm going to dedicate one piece to this. I haven't picked out yet what that cross stitch pattern is going to be. So I'm going to pull from my whip list, what is it going to be? And it's going to be the one that I dedicate to for the entire season of preseason, postseason, wherever we end up in regards to this. That's what I'm going to stitch. 10 stitches for every point that they score. So yeah, I could be doing 300 and I could be doing, 70. You never know. I mean, maybe there's no points. That'd be sad. But anyway, that's kind of the plan, and I'm super excited about that. But we have other August plans also. So I do the Whippagories that Sammy J does, and here's what they are for the graphics. So I have mine written out on a little note to remind me what I'm doing. So the least amount stitched, I am using the Stitcher's Book Club. And then she has, the next one she has is Struggle Bus. I'm doing Seeking Refuge. I'm struggling on that because I am down to just the black. Well, mainly the big chunk of black stitching on the bottom. So it'll just like plug me away a little bit on that. Fandom. I am stuck on Year 4 Frogwarts. So let's get some stitches in that. Has no black in it. I'm being a cheater. The River is a monochromatic one that I'm doing, and it is all one color. That is what I'm doing for that. This cat is fighting me with this tripod. The last one on this list is Specialty Floss, and I am going to do Sunflower Fairy, which is a Nora Corbett that was out of a magazine a long time ago. So that is that. I also choose something that I focus on every single month, and I am in a Stacy Stitches. She has a swap group that she has on Facebook. And I was like, yeah, let me get in on that. Like now that I'm retired, I got more time. So I am going to be doing that as my focus for this month because I need to have it sent out, I believe, I don't know, into August is my goal. So that's for the autumn swap. For Whip Go, my numbers were, or everybody's numbers were 12 and 15. That associated to letters for me this year. So that's an L and an N. And that I'm doing self-love for L. And N, I am doing Charlotte, which is a Nora Corbett Mirabilia pattern. So that's letting me get some more love on that. And then every single month I do a mini village. Halfway through the month, once I have some of these goals done, and at the end of the month, I do that little bird and a quirky Quaker. I also have my put a bird on it Sal, the summer stitch that I do, my seasonal one. I'll keep plugging away at that. And every single month, I put a few stitches, 300, into Dog's Declaration and Gingerbread Christmas Gingerbread House. It's a big one too. So those are like the plans of what I have going on. This cat is just crazy, guys. Sorry. So that is like my plan part of this video. And, so I'm going to see where I get on those this week. Because other plans, which are in personal life, I plan to do. I am going to have a retirement party here at the house. I had one at work, which we'll talk about in a minute, but, I'm going to have a little one here at my house, and, my house needs a fresh coat of paint on the inside. So I'm going to work on painting all the rooms that people would be in, primarily at first. Stop it, cat. So that is like some plans. I'm on slowly but surely get through that goal is what I'm going to do. So as far as retirement goes, retirement didn't let me down in regards to work. So the night that I was having a party at work, they do this every single month because everybody's been retiring for months now. Like at the end of the month is when people walk out and retire. That's what, they don't walk out, but they retire. So they've been doing the parties, and it's been Pizza Hut every single month. And I was like, I'm so tired of Pizza Hut, and it also hurts my belly. And I wasn't being mean because that's what the bosses were doing. Like they didn't have to do that, but they were. But I said, I want to throw my own retirement party. So I had my little menu, and I like made little treats because it's Christmas in July, and I always make little treats at December. So why not do that right now when I'm getting ready to retire? But the night of my party, which was like I work second shift. So the night of my party, we get in there, and it wasn't even 3:30, and there was a massive breakdown. They crashed. The cab of a truck got snagged on when it was going through what we refer to as the L post. So the way I explain this is it's like gigantic swimming pools. The entire truck goes down the conveyor, and it comes up and drains, and it goes down, it comes up. Well, at some point along the line, it snagged something on the cab. It spun it, jammed it, shut the conveyor down. It literally ruined an entire truck and more. But I've got a picture here of what it looked like. It took 8 millwrights to go in there. The picture that I have already has the hood and the front grill area off of it, but we had to basically cut it with torches and saws and get it out of there piece by piece. So my party that was supposed to start at 5:30 didn't start till 6:30. My kids brought Chick-fil-A, so it was hot at 5:30. We had to go put it in the room and wait. And so I also have a couple pictures of like my spread. Like I had like the Chick-fil-A, I had a cold pasta salad, a watermelon salsa, my little goodies that I made for everybody, and then colossal chocolate chip cookies that I had designed. And I was like, I'm not going to say happy retirement to myself. So one of them said the beginning of a new chapter, and the other one said 30 and out, because that's what it's referred to. I did 30 years in there, and then I was out. That was a goal I set when I was a 23-year-old little girl that hired in there. I turned 24 within like a week of hiring in, but so that I am 54 years old, and I am out and retired. And I spoke to you about this in my last video in regards to like some of my other journeyman partners that I've worked with over time that have like taught me the way of like, I'm young and I'm done, but that doesn't mean like I never will go to work again, because they have had some amazing experiences, like doing other things along the lines, and that you're not committed to it. Like they'll hold that job for like 9 months to a year, and they'll be like, I'm tired of somebody else telling me to come and do what I want. So then they like quit. So, and that's something that, you know, you're blessed to be able to do if you're able to do that. So editing Janet here, I did not talk to you about the day that I walked out for retirement. My kids did an amazing thing for me so that I didn't walk out all by myself. They were there to greet me. My sister was there. I'm going to share some pictures as I'm speaking here because it was a very blessed thing to have. They, like on my last day, I only needed to do 6 minutes, but I stuck around until I was told, all right, come on out, Mom. So I hope you're enjoying these pictures. Like I said, my kids were there. My Lizzie and Colton and the grandbabies were there. They had a sign for me. My older sister had a last time. Thank you. Bye, guys. Confetti, had gotten some confetti cannons, and it was good to walk out that way. My partner I was leaving and a gentleman that has known me from the very beginning were there also when I was walking out. So very blessed in regards to that, and I did not forget to talk about it, so inserting it here. Everybody keeps asking me, how's it feel? What's it feel like? And I don't know. And why I say that is because like for 30 years, I probably never taken more than like 10 days off for a vacation. I have been part of, me and my girlfriends were talking about this. I have been part of like 3 strikes. COVID took us out for 6 weeks. I had a baby in there and I had a bunion surgery. And those are the only times in 30 years that I had long periods of time off. So currently, I feel like it's going to take a while before it feels like I really don't have to go back to work, because it's going to just feel like an extended vacation. And then when I have like my honey-do list of like painting my house, that's going to like even offset it. Like I'm going to be busy, and that's not going to. So all that to say, I don't know what it feels like yet, and we'll see as I go through that. I do have like an open book, and I can go help and be with friends if they need me, or you know, just do my other things. We all know that I do my cross stitching, I do my quilting, I have those groups. I was invited to a yoga in the park thing. I had book club over this last weekend, and it's the first time. Usually they go to a local restaurant, have breakfast or brunch or lunch or something like that and talk about the book. This time we met at one of the girls' house and had lunch, barbecue kind of thing, and then swam in the pond. So it was a longer one than normal, picked out our book for next month, and that's it. So all kinds of good adventures happening. And if you're here till the end and are along for the ride, I'm going to share those with you. I'm sure sometimes it's going to be boring as all get out. And it'd be like, I walk the dogs every day. That's for sure. One thing that I do every single day is I walk the dogs. So we'll see. I hope that you stick around with me and are part of the goodness. Of course, I'm trying to think, do I have any pictures to share of the grands? I know Ozzy posed. Ozzy was like, take picture. I know I have that one. There clearly have been, I've seen them. I mean, I already saw the kids a lot, but I'm seeing them all the time now, and summer's out. Henry's like learning to ride his little bike all the time, everywhere. So it's just adventures all around here. The husband's been excited that I'm going to be home. That means like, you know, meal planning. That was kind of rough going to the grocery store because we work opposite shifts, and like he would buy what he was going to eat for the week and I would buy what I'm going to buy for the week. And so then we went, and I didn't have a plan, and I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't know how to like figure out what we are going to eat together. So I was like, well, I guess for this week, for sure, we're just going to eat our way through the freezer and the cabinets, and we're going to see what I can pull up, and we're going to evolve from there. So that is definitely growing. I'm just looking back here. Like, my cat must have done something to this tree at some point. He looks weird. I'm distracted because it's like looking weird. Oh my gosh, I made it worse. All right. Stay focused, Janet. All right. If you hung with me for this long, thank you so much for all the well wishes. Thank you for all of the love. Thank you for just being caring enough to know what's going on in my life. And I will see you next week. So please keep stitching, enjoy life, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.